What's up, everybody? Welcome to Prime Sports Media. I've been gone for a little while, but I'm back on the saddle here. Let's get into this right now. As you know, you had the NFL Combine. And of course, one of the top quarterbacks, obviously, is Shedeur Sanders. Now, the rumors that are coming out right now, I don't like them. I've got a problem with them. I'm going to get personal about it today. So some people might not like what I'm going to say because I'm going to keep it 100% real with you all.
Tell the truth.
I don't like the rumors that are coming out about Shedeur Sanders you got, they're saying that the rumors are coming from 1 through 7 of the teams in this draft that are concerned about Shedeur Sanders from a standpoint that they believe that he's brash, that he's arrogant, a little cocky, what have you. This is nonsense. There's been tons of great quarterbacks that have come into the NFL who are confident. A lot of times people mistake confidence with being brash and cocky, right? Because you know why, I'm going to be honest with you? Because a lot of people that look at guys like Shedeur Sanders as being brash and cocky is because they don't have any confidence in themselves. They don't have any direction in what they want to do with their life. So here you have a young man who has direction. He has a father who has done it at the highest level in Deion Sanders. His father has done it at the highest level. And I think this has a lot to do with Deion. Now, what I'm going to do, because it's already come out there, we're going to expose on this program the actual or the team that people believe are the ones that have leaked this out. Now, depending on who you listen to in terms of sports rags, people, whether it be ESPN, Fox, whatever you're listening to, everybody's got a different take, okay? Shedeur showed up to the combine. He didn't work out. He's going to have his pro day. I'm looking forward to the pro day as well as all of you out there as well, right? But he was very respectful. He was very confident. Now, he said something about, hey, if you want to win, you want to be successful, I'm your man. What damn team in the NFL wouldn't want a young man like Shedeur Sanders to have that confidence? You don't draft quarterbacks that don't believe in themselves. How to be a leader in the NFL and to be a leader in life, you have to exude confidence. You have to know what you're doing. You have to believe. Before you can achieve, you have to believe in your mind that you can achieve anything. Okay? So I want a quarterback that has that type of swagger. You've got tons of quarterbacks. Elway was cocky when he came into the NFL and refused to play for, at that time, the Baltimore Colts. Okay? Eli Manning of the Manning family, when he came into the out of Ole Miss, when he came into the NFL, he refused and said he would not play for the San Diego Chargers because he didn't appreciate their organization. So then they made a trade to send him to the New York Giants. The rest is history. The guy won 2 Super Bowls. So Baker Mayfield is very cocky. Nobody had a problem with that. This has more to do with the fact that they don't like Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. You've got people in the media who feel some kind of way about him because he in himself is confident. You expect Shedeur Sanders not to be confident when he comes from a confident upbringing in Deion Sanders, Coach Prime? Everything is on video. Everything is on film. Everything you want to know about whether he has the ability to play the game or not is on film. Shedeur took lots of sacks. He took a beating in the first year because he didn't have a great offensive line, but he kept getting up and playing. This young man has shown you everything that you want in a quarterback in terms of grit, confidence, and ability to play in pain, to play with injury. You got to be able to prove that to your teammates in the NFL. So we don't want a quarterback who has no confidence. So something weird is going on here. Not only do I think this has to do with people who don't want to see Coach Prime be successful, therefore it translates to his sons. They don't want to see his son be successful, possibly. And you saw the hate that was going on when it came to Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter got the Heisman Trophy, and we all know that Shedeur Sanders should have been on that stage as well as a candidate for the Heisman Trophy, and he got snubbed there for at least being a candidate to be invited to New York that night, right? that he got snubbed because they didn't want, I believe, Coach Prime to have the glory of two players on his team in the country being up for the Heisman Trophy. Okay, so I think there's something going on. Another thing, too, when you look at Elway, the Manning family, all these other quarterbacks that have come in and have come off what people would say is arrogant, you didn't see them being called arrogant. And I don't know if this has to do with the fact that Shedeur Sanders, as you obviously can tell, is a black quarterback versus they are white quarterbacks. And whether y'all want to deal with this or not, racial issues and racial biases still exist in American society, whether it be sports and all forms of life. So I'm just saying there could be something there. What I want to do is I want to play what I thought Shannon Sharp did a great job on his show with Ocho Chad Johnson, explaining how foolish this is and exposing. I'm going to tell you right now, the New York Giants, y'all, is the team that people believe at this point are the ones that spilled the beans on this, that they're the ones, this got leaked out of their organization. Allegedly, this is what's come out. I'm going to play some audio for you as well, where you've got people, I think, on Fox Sports talking about this, that the Giants organization, who I thought when you had their head coach give Shedeur a fist bump or whatever it was, it looked like that's the team that looks like a possibility that he may go to. When you look at these 7 teams that they said were within that range of coaches that might have had some issues, we're talking about, we got the Titans at 1, the Browns at 2, you got the Giants at 3, who we're thinking that Shedeur may be going to the Giants, right? The Patriots at 4, and the Jaguars at 5th. The Raiders at 6. That might be a great spot for Shedeur. And then you got the Jets at 7. Hell, the Jets can get in. The Jets need everything they can get. They just got rid of Aaron Rodgers. Oh, speaking of another arrogant type quarterback, Aaron Rodgers was very arrogant, or people coined him as arrogant because he was very confident as well in his ability. So, let's get into this right now. I want y'all to see what Chad had to say about this whole situation. It's really a damn shame, y'all, that in this damn age, we're dealing with this sort of stuff like this, everybody. Check this out. I want y'all to hear the audio on this, and check this out. It's Chad Johnson and Shannon Sharp.
Having confidence in yourself. It's not brash. It's about having confidence. It's believing in yourself. It's believing in the work that you've already put in.
Facts.
Tell the truth.
Believe in yourself. The work that you put in. Chad is on to something here.
The resume speaks for itself. Turn on the film. There's a reason he's talking the way he's talking. I believe I can come in and change the franchise. How is that brash for feeling that way?
Right.
If you're not serious about changing your franchise and having a franchise changing quarterback, I'm not the one for you.
Right. Shedeur said that. Is that arrogance? Is that being brash? No, that's being honest. And what football team in the NFL, what coach, what offensive coordinator, what players on these NFL team would want a guy coming into the league who doesn't have confidence in his ability, a guy that's passive? Hell no. Shedeur is just too real for them at this point in time.
What's wrong with saying that when that's exactly what the teams are looking for? Someone with that type of confidence. Not soft-spoken. You are a leader of men coming in as a rookie to change the franchise.
Right.
You have to be.
Can I ask you? Okay, let's just say, for the sake of argument, Ocho, everything that he said, everything that this coach said, that he's brash and he's arrogant. Can he play?
Can he play?
That's all that. Yeah. Can he play football?
Let me stop it right there. Shannon Sharp breaks it down right on point. Can Shedeur Sanders play football? I want all of you out there watching this video right now to definitely make comments. Give me your opinion. Do you believe Shedeur Sanders can play at the NFL level? Obviously, when you go to the NFL, you want to be with the right team, but do you believe that he has what it takes? He has the ability. He has the right mindset to be successful in the NFL. You let me know. You make those comments in the comment section of this video. Let's keep it real now. Let's keep it real.
He's
That's all that
a
matters.
football player. He's not into politics, because in politics you need to be likable.
Tell the truth.
That's why people will vote for you. In this situation, can he play football?
Game.
Okay, does he have any issues off the field? Do you worry about having to have your phone on ring the entire night?
No, you don't. Shedeur Sanders has been in front of the spotlight since day one with having a father like Deion Sanders. He is used to the spotlight. When he was at Colorado, matter of fact, let's go back to his Jackson State days. When he was at Jackson State, did you ever hear of Shedeur Sanders getting in any type of trouble with the law, with females, anything? Did you hear anything about Shedeur other than, okay, there was some rumor or there was some news about him having his vehicle in Colorado that got a ticket on it or a boot or whatever? Okay, but that was a rumor. Now, how true that was, maybe it was true, maybe it wasn't. But I'm talking about hardcore trouble. Did you ever hear about him getting caught up at Colorado with females in the wrong way, drugs, alcohol, partying, not paying attention to details, looking sleepy and slumpy? No, you never. NFL teams, they also evaluate a guy's character. So whoever did this, in this case, someone out of the New York Giant Brash, that's what's allegedly that's come out, that the Giants may have been behind this. Somebody is putting out information because either they're hating on Shedeur, they're hating on Coach Prime as well, and they don't want to see him get picked high or something. I don't know. But personally, if Shedeur gets picked lower in the round, I've been saying this, you go to a better team with better coaching, better offensive line, better receivers, better talent around you when you get picked by the teams in the lower rounds, which means you have a better supporting cast, right? But Shedeur's worked hard for this. Let's continue. Let me let you continue hearing this.
Are you worried about, if you see my player here, give me a call. Watch out for him. Is there any such thing that you need to worry about?
Right. Not with Shedeur.
His dad was Brash. I'm confused. At the end of the day, can the guy play football?
That's right. That's right. At the end of the day,
tell the truth,
ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, can Shedeur Sanders play football? This game we know is football. Y'all let me know. I'm saying to you right now, 110%, 20%, 30%, 1,000%, he can play football. But see, I'm going to say this too. Let's not forget that sometimes you have teams. Now, this is part of the NFL who make up rumors. You have teams that will say, hey, I don't like this player, not interested in drafting him. Oh, we don't think he fits our system. Oh, he might not have the right attitude. Sometimes teams play this game because they want to cause other teams not to want to draft that player, and then they turn around and draft that player. Now, this has happened in the NFL draft where things start because teams are playing games with each other to keep other teams from knowing who they want to draft or to keep other teams from wanting to get that guy at that spot. Because if you put out a rumor about him and they buy into it, now that could be one of the gamesmanship of what's going on here. But I still think it has more to do with who his father is, who his coach was, and has always been his coach all his life. Coach Prime is the common denominator to the haters out there, the people in the press, and people who feel some kind of way because of who his father is. It's just because why is it that no other quarterbacks in this draft class are you hearing these sort of things, right? Because Shedeur is exhibiting confidence. Wow. Now, I want you all to hear this audio. I think this was on Fox Sports, and they go into the area that I went into in terms of hating on the father, and could there be some racial dynamics in this too? Because you don't see the other quarterbacks of another shade being called out like he was called out by somebody in this combine. One of these teams, well, let me say it again, not somebody. It's being said that It's the New York Giants. I want y'all to listen to this and listen to it very well. Check this out.
Well, it should be nothing. And if you're going to take someone off the board because of his dad, that's a bigger problem. But if there's any team that's been traumatized about exposure or by exposure, it's the New York Giants. And when you bring in Shedeur and you bring in Deion, you're going to have a lot of exposure. And that's the world that they live in. And it's been very successful for him, and it's been very positive for him. So that's a reality if Shedeur comes. And then you have the component of you may be criticized, you may be discussed, all those things with a different level of legitimacy than somebody else's dad. All that being said, if you have a good program and a good system and you believe he's the best player, then you draft that player. As long as there's nothing else related to character where you think it's going to be some sort of problem with the team. If it's just because of his background and because he comes from a famous football family.
Flamboyant, and in the spotlight.
I totally, well, you're also in New York.
Right.
New York City. And now there's probably a lot of trauma being unpacked in that room because of how badly it went with Hard Knocks. But if you want to keep your job, you need to go get the best players, and you need to put them in a position to be successful.
And look, great job by the reporter. But this shouldn't even leak. It's like you said, after Hard Knocks, what everybody's thinking about, Joe Shane and all these guys, like this.
So there it is, folks. At the end of the day, this is coming from Chris Bouchard, I think, on Fox. I think, what's the name of the damn show? It's not Speak, but apparently this was leaked, and it's gone to the New York Giants as being the franchise that has a personnel individual that may have leaked these thoughts about how they perceived Shedeur Sanders. This is, I have to say, crazy.
Shouldn't leak, because I agree with you. And I get it. Like, Deion is Deion. He's already said he's going to get involved, do what he has to do to help his son succeed. He is outspoken. He's going to be asked about, like, all of that is real. But to your point, Coach, if you think he's the guy, you can't worry about that. You have to be like, we have a strong enough program, which they may not, quite honestly, because these guys might be gone in a year. But we have a strong enough program where we're not going to let that ruin our situation. And to be honest, if you really have these concerns, reach out to Deion. I mean, talk to him about, look, this is what we want to do. We want Shedeur. Shedeur clearly likes the idea of playing for the Giants. Remember, he tweeted out the shoes or something like that. So I would talk to Deion and say, this is what we want to do. This is what we think is best for him, and all that.
Yeah, I'm shocked that this is something, because this should be nothing. You're in New York. You're dealing with a kid that has arguably had the limelight and exposure his entire collegiate career because of his dad, and he's handled it like a pro. Like, he's excelled, not only as individual off the field, but even on the field, he's met expectations. And if you're saying that this guy is the guy that we want, I don't care what his dad is, who his dad is, you're focused on the player, because you feel like he is good enough to change the landscape of how you're going to move forward. And so with them having this as a question, it starts to make me question, do they believe that he is the guy that can change who they are?
I know we don't, maybe we need more than 1 minute left here. Sorry, Dust, break the clock with Wilds out. It feels a little, I don't think people are going to say this about Arch Manning. I'm worried about the family. It feels a little flamboyant black dad scares us. And even though it's Deion Sanders, even though it is one of the greatest players in the history of the sport, we're like, it doesn't feel like a thing a superstar white quarterback deals with.
Stop it right there. This is being said on mainstream sports talk. I tend to agree with what's being said right there.
A lot of those guys have overbearing dads, that a lot of those guys are in the spotlight. And I understand people can be like, Deion's different. Yeah, he is different. In a lot of ways, he has been as involved and productive of a father for these boys as you couldn't comprehend it. Just coached them at Jackson State, took them to Colorado, did all these things. And so I'm not killing the Giants because there's nobody's name attached to it or whatever it is. But the reason this feels like a credible report is because I think a lot of people are like, oh, yeah. And by the way, I wouldn't take Shedeur #1. I have real questions about him as a NFL quarterback. But the whole idea that being attached to Deion is a...
All right. Let me stop it right there. So he was on to something. Then he's like, oh, I don't think so. Of course, you've got people out there in sports media who have never played the game themselves.
Tell the truth.
Sports writers, the whole 9 yards, sports personalities on Fox who, may believe that he's not going to be fit for the NFL. Well, just complete nonsense. But the point that he made about people may be a little bit taken back by the flamboyantness of Shedeur Sanders' father, Coach Prime, who himself was very confident, spoke his mind. And I think the reality is we still live in a time where people are still uncomfortable with both athletes and coaches who speak their mind. Let me also, as I get ready to end this particular video, I want to say thank you for watching this video. Make sure you share this video in all of your social media, whether it be Facebook, X, if you are part of a Colorado fan page or group on Facebook, drop this video in there, hit the bell notification, make sure you make a comment on this video when you get a chance, and watch another video, and as well, share the video on all your social media. I definitely would appreciate that. Now, what I want to do right now, this is just going to be quick. Over this past weekend, I did have a chance to look at the NFL Combine, particularly watching Jimmy Horn Jr. and LeJontay Wester. I thought that they did a good job because they still were able to rank themselves in there in terms of the some of the most fastest receivers. Those receivers that run a decent 40-yard are going to be the receivers that will be picked higher and more ahead of the guys who did not run very well in terms of getting a 4.40 or some sort in there. We know that Jimmy Horn, when he first ran in the combine this past weekend, his first run was for 4. He ran a 40 of 4.47. He ran a 4.47. On his second try, on the second run, he ran a 4.46. So he improved that by 1. LeJontay Wester came in, ran the same time as Jimmy Horn, his teammate, ran a 4.47 in his first run in the combine, and then the second one, he ran a 4.48. Now, keep this in mind. These guys can improve those numbers when they have their pro day at Colorado, which will be very exciting. So they have a chance to improve what they did at the combine. And I'm sure that Jimmy Horn Jr. as well as LeJontay Wester are looking at the video and watching what they might have done wrong in their stride. They're going to probably be working on that so they can actually improve those numbers. If they improve those numbers at their pro day, that's going to also push them up further in their draft status. But just running those numbers, just getting those kind of numbers is still going to put them ahead of guys that were running like 4.59 or 4.53. You know, they're still going to put them ahead, which is good for them. So with that said, everybody, this is Prime Sports Media. Thank you again. Until we can do this again, y'all take care. I know I've been gone for a little while. What I plan to do is to still do live streams, but I think I need to go back to also uploading shorter videos more frequently when I'm not able to do a live stream. So with that said, everybody, thank you very much. Tell someone you love them. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and share the video. Take care, everybody.